are here in the home of Phil Lawrence, who is a World War II veteran, and he was a sergeant in the United States Marine Air Corps. Is that correct?
In the Marine Corps, the Air Corps is a division of that. Yes, that's correct.
It was just a few years ago you had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. to see the unveiling of the World War II memorial.
That was wonderful. A dedication of the World War II memorial. It was on Memorial Day. But that memorial was done so well without a penny of government money. Tom Brokaw had written a book, The Greatest Generation, and all the proceeds from his book went to that memorial to put that up. There was a monument for every state, 50 states in that memorial, and they were all marked, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and it was a wonderful, wonderful thing, because there were 16.5 million Americans that were in the service, and 400,000 died Americans in that war, and there was a field of stars representing the 400,000 Americans killed, and there were 600,000 wounded. It's fantastic, unbelievable numbers as we think of numbers today. In 5 years, over in the current war, it's been 4,000 killed in 5 years. It's just inconceivable, the involvement of the number of Americans in this effort, and that's why it turned out the way it did, I'm sure. Tom Brokaw, with his camera crew, he was there for the dedication, and we walked by where he was, and he looked at me. I had a cap, a World War II veteran's cap on, and he looked at the three of us, and he pointed in our direction and motioned to come over. I said to Pam, who's he talking to? He said, you. He wants you to come up there. So I went over to him, and he shook my hand. He said, you're a World War II veteran. I said, yes, sir. Well, he said, do you mind if I interview you? He started interviewing me, and he asked me several questions, where I've been and where I'm from, and I said, Tom, I said, you're from South Dakota. He said, yeah. I said, well, you may know a friend of mine who was in the Marine Air Corps. He was a fighter pilot. He says, he was the first one to break Eddie Rickenbacker's record of downed planes. What's his name? I said, Joe Foss. Tom says, do I know Joe Foss? He's my governor. Was there, and Tom got done interviewing me. Lester Holt came running over. He said, he is not going to get ahead of me. He said, you come over. I'm going to interview you. He says, he's top shelf on the weekdays, but he says, I'm on the weekends. And so he did interview me, and it was kind of strange, because once you got into that circle, all the ABC and the public service, they all came up, as I have the pictures in my book there, they all came over to interview me after that. But I think it was all because of Brokaw started it.
You became the celebrity.
I became the know-nothing nobody, but somehow they had to pick out somebody.